Greetings and welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation. We've never had this before, but things happen and things happen for a reason. So we welcome all of you to the show, hoping that you are with us as we are with you. Greetings and welcome to all on board. It is Africa Online Media Corporation, and this is Sunday. It is Sunday, the 4th day of June, 2023. Greetings again. My name is Asonglefa Nkemleke, and greetings and welcome. Would you believe it? It is the 6th month of 2023. Yes, it is June. It is the 6th month of the year in the Julian and Gregorian calendars. Yes, June is the second of 4 months to have a length of 30 days, and the third of 5 months to have a length of less than 31 days. In 26 days, 2023 will be halfway through. Yes, we will be 6 months at the mark to the end of the year, but then it is all the same. But before we get there, before we get to the end of the year in 6 months' time, we are still here today, the 4th day of June, and we continue the show. But before we get there, as I was saying, why do we not just remind ourselves of some of the things today? International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. Listen to it. International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. Yes, it is victims of man's inhumanity to man. That is what is today. International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. June 4th, the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression, serves as a reminder of the impact of as the impact of armed conflicts and acts of aggression by human beings on children in particular, that is, worldwide. We will probably find time to talk about that at some other point. Suffice it now to say that we should record history, the history of the month of June. June is named after the Roman goddess Juno, the goddess of marriage and childbirth, and the wife of the supreme deity Jupiter. I believe you are following that. And coming from Latin, the Latin word juniorus means younger ones, as opposed to Maeros, elders. We had May last month, and that was the month of another being. Apart from being the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression, today, June 4th, is the 155th day of the year, 155 day of the year in the Gregorian and Julian calendars. There are thus 210 days left until the end of the year 2023. It is also worth knowing that there are, Ambassador Lisa, if she succeeded in joining us, today we have just 17 days left before summer. Yes, summer will begin in 17 days on the 21st of June. On this day, back in 1920, if I can recall more history, the United States Congress approved the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which guaranteed suffrage to women. That is, women were not really voting nationwide as at that time, 1920. You can imagine from 1776 all the way to 1920 before women got the right to vote after the tireless work of Susan B. Anthony. Yes, the Union was never perfect for women until 1920. It is not perfect today, but the efforts continue. The struggle continues. It is not just Sunday. It is Audacity to Hope Day. Yes, this Sunday, 4th of June, is Audacity to Hope Day, a day celebrated every year on June 4th in recognition of the resilient human spirit that conquers all obstacles with hope and perseverance. It also celebrates movements and important landmarks in human history that have made the world a better place for you and I, for you and me, as you want to take from the words of that song. So let us celebrate the personal victories that we have all achieved after overcoming challenging obstacles. Our celebration in optimism and a celebration in confidence. We have to live in optimism, we have to live in confidence, because this Audacity to Hope Day should help us anticipate a happy future as we seek to give ourselves that confidence, that trust, that so we can help each other, help ourselves to see better days, days of growing hope and greater equality, and days of greater opportunity, even in these dimming moments. That audacity to hope should tie in with our topic of today. The topic we're trying to speak to is empowering Black men, as if to say the Black man needs an extra incentive to do what he knows how best to do and is able to do. Empowerment, to say cheering on, to say motivating, to say encouraging. Yes, empowering is all that is needed to accomplish the tasks that must be accomplished by each and every one of us. As we enter deeper into the month of June, the 6th month of the year, the month in American history that celebrates the Emancipation Proclamation, hence Juneteenth on the 19th, and the final rejection of lording it over the less privileged, here is the moment to raise awareness on the need to go for that perfect union that America's founding fathers worked so relentlessly for. And that can only be done by tirelessly ensuring that the Black man finally has the right, finally has the strength, and finally has the confidence to engage in every venture that makes life worth living. It is more than time for the Black man to be assured that after every rainstorm, there is always a rainbow, a promise of hope, an assurance of better things, better days, happier days. Yes, that is that. And on that note, we invite you all out there, if you are listening, and certainly you are, to join Africa Online Media Corporation to celebrate the Black man, to engage the Black man in that task that must be done, because you have been there from the beginning and you helped build this imperfect union. But we seek perfection as we move on. So, Reverend Pam, if you are listening, I give over to you because I think we need to get everyone engaged. Let's move on.
Thank you so much, Niasan. Thank you for your faithfulness and your patience. Ambassador Lisa is on. I'm definitely gonna just create a new link. Sorry about the inconveniences, and I'll share that link with all of you. Yes, we are dedicating this June to our men. And yes, they definitely need to be empowered. They need to be supported. They need to be enriched. They need to be, emboldened. And what we women play an important role in empowering our men. Not just men. That when we say men is a generic for the male, boys, uncles, young adults, teenagers, grandpas, in-laws, spouses, husbands. So this month we're dedicating it to them, even though next we're going to be talking about gun violence, but it's still part of them because we know, gun safety, we know that our men are more the victims to gun violence more than women. So the month of June is dedicated to lifting up our men. I'm going to hand over to Ambassador Lisa. Ambassador Lisa, you are muted. Can you dial *6 to unmute?
Thank you, Reverend Pam. I've never been on Zoom on the phone, so I didn't know how to unmute. Thank you so much.
Well, at least you learned something. So every disappointment is a blessing.
Yeah, so as we were stating that we're dedicating this month to our men, we want to focus on our Black and brown brothers. With systematic racism and societal struggles to be recognized, you know, or even our men just want to be acknowledged as men, just human beings. We're going to talk about ways to empower the man. In the first place, that the Black male and the Black man should feel loved, appreciated, and adored is at home. And unfortunately, that's not happening. You know, now most women are making more money in the marriage. If a male and a female goes for the job, the woman is going to get the job over the man, which further, you know, emasculates him. So when women are being pushed, because it's a system that is trying to destroy our Black and brown brothers. So when women are constantly being pushed forward, you know, being empowered while pushing the man back, it's difficult for our Black men to keep their head up and their self-esteem as well. So, and I was, as I was looking at some things in reference to this topic, I remembered an organization that my son was with, the Good Man Project. So I went to the Good Man Project and I looked at some things that we could do to empower our Black brothers. They need to be encouraged, and it's not just our brothers here in the United States, it's our brothers abroad as well. And, you know, some of us who have come from Africa, who are traveling back and forth to Africa, especially know how most men, I won't say most, some men treat their wives at home. I can understand why a wife wants to encourage, why a wife would not want to push, you know, and lift that man up. But I'm reminded of a sister, and she reminded me of something very, very key and important. She was saying that she loves God more than she loves herself, and even more than she loves her husband. So therefore, she will not disrespect God by acting equal or as ugly as he is acting. She gives her best, you know, despite, you know, not including violence or anything like that. But she just, you know, this is what happens when the marriage is 100-100. When you say the marriage is 50-50, then that means I'm only going to go as far as here, and he's only going to go as far as here. And there may not be a coming together, but when we give 100% of ourselves to the marriage because we're doing it as unto God, then when we stand before him in judgment, there will be no mark against us because we did not do what the Father told us. So one of the ways that we can create empowerment, one of the ways we can empower our brothers is to create a space where Black men can talk and share their experience. And we know as women, growing up with our fathers, our brothers, that's just not something that men were encouraged to do. They were not encouraged to feel. They were not encouraged to have emotions. They were not encouraged to share their emotions, let me say it like that. You know, whatever happened, they were told to suck it up, stuff it down. And, you know, for me as a woman, when I have unforgiveness in my heart, it manifests as illness in my body. And if it's manifesting as illness in my body, and we as emotional creatures can talk, can have something to say, can you imagine what's going on in a man's body and his chemistry when he's not even allowed to say how he's actually feeling? So one of the things we can do is begin to create safe spaces where they can come together and share. I also found that most men don't even have a best friend. Sisters, we have no problems with our BFFs. We have no problems getting together. We go on girl trips. We got girl weekends. We go spa days. What is it that our brothers are doing? Where is it they can go? You know, occasionally one man may have a man cave, but where is it that our men can go where they can really be safe and share their experiences? Let's talk about that particular one. Creating a safe space where Black males can come together and talk about their experiences. Ruthie, what say you?
She may not be able to answer you at the moment.
Oh, okay. So then how about you, Deborah?
Well, I think they usually go to bars or sports events, although that's not as private, but it's where they can get some of their aggressions and whatnot out, especially like wrestling. I know a lot of men love wrestling and boxing because it's a way of not necessarily releasing emotions, but it releases something. It gives them an avenue for escape.
It gives them, yeah, you're right. It gives them an avenue of escape where they might not be able to do it themselves, but Yes, this is me. This is my boss, and I'm wrestling. This is my boss, and I'm punching in the face. Yeah. So yes, they
Right.
do have their sporting events. Most conversations, and I'm not talking about from experience. 'Cause I've not been in any bars. I've not been in any space where men are gathering together. But I would imagine if they're coming together for a sporting event, that's what they're talking about. They're not really talking about their intimate feelings and how they feel and what they think.
True.
You
Ruth
know,
is back.
I want to say. Okay, one time, many years ago, in my marriage, my husband made a statement that he wished he had another woman he could talk to. I didn't dismiss that. I didn't jump on him. I didn't say, "What do you mean you wish you had another woman?" When he came home from work, there was another woman for him to talk to. I created a whole environment where I was someone different that he could open up and talk to. Share what he had on his mind concerning me, things that he didn't think he could tell me. But when I was this fantasy person, he was able to talk about me to me. And the thing that was very key was I did not make him pay for the things that he shared. I adjusted where I could. But our husbands have to be able to say what they want to say about us and be able to share how they feel and what they think, because their perception is not out. We perceive things one way and they're perceiving things another way. So I created that space in my home where he was able to share what he was thinking and feeling and what he liked and what he didn't like. And I promised him, when he talked to Candy, there would be no repercussions and his wife would never know. And I never, ever brought any of those things up, threw them in his face. I made adjustments where I could, and we were able to go on. And we only had to do it, I think, twice. Every time after that, we just had fun with it. But he only needed to talk to that fantasy woman about his wife just twice. So we need to be able to create those spaces inside of our own homes and inside of our own marriages where men are safe, because we know that we want to be safe with them. We need to make sure they're safe in their homes as well. Ruthie, are you back?
Yes, ma'am, I am back.
Yes, I was saying that one of the ways that we can empower our Black community is to create safe spaces where Black men can come together and talk about their experiences.
Yes, I did hear that part of it. And
Okay.
I think also that I've been with my husband for dang near 50 years.
That's wonderful.
Sometimes they just don't want to talk. So their way of communicating, like you said, is very different than ours. For example, he loves sports. So he'll talk about sports night and day. And when he gets together with his friends, that's basically what they talk about, is sports. When it comes to other areas of maybe challenge for him, that's a different animal. It really is like pulling teeth and making that safe space where he can speak freely if he would like to. Has been challenging, but we're working our way through it. Like you said, we're from a different age where men did not talk about their feelings, and if they did, they were made to feel ashamed about how they were feeling. It was like, suck it up, buttercup, don't be a sissy, that type of thing.
Right.
So,
this is an area that we need to repent as women, as mothers. If that has been our previous modus operandi, because that's how we saw our mothers operate or our grandparents operate, we need to repent and fix that and not continue this vicious cycle with our young men that are coming up. Let them know it's okay to feel. God created them to have feelings as well, and that they should be able to share it. So they don't end up being the angry Black man. They won't end up being angry, mad at the world. And then the first time they come after or express themselves, it's like an explosion. We don't want our brothers being, exploding anymore, because we see what happens now.
And I wanted you to know that Dr. Gloria is on as well. Dr.
Oh, okay,
Gloria
thank you.
well. You're welcome. And Reverend Pam had to walk away for a second, so.
Okay, are we all on the phone or?
No, I'm on Zoom.
Oh, okay,
Deborah,
okay.
Dr. Gloria, and Reverend Pam, we're all on Zoom. So you
Okay,
and
just
Sandra on your phones.
Just the anchors are on the phone. So the attack was against the anchors today. And since they're on
okay.
their phone, they cannot tell who is on. So Sister Ruth, you will help them. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get muted.
Okay. So like I
Yes,
said,
thank you very much. Yes.
you do know Nia Song's here, you are, and Dr. Gloria's here as well. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. So, so we do want to be able to create those spaces. Let me ask you, Ruthie, does Cool Uncle Bill have a best friend that he hangs out with?
You are muted, Sister
Hello?
Ruth, you're muted.
Sorry. He doesn't hang out much. He's kind of to himself, but in my family, he has friends within my family. So my brother-in-law, he are close, and some of my brothers and him are close. So yeah, I would say he has friends and that
Okay, okay.
but he actually talks more to my sisters than my brothers, I think.
He talks to everybody. He is just Cool Uncle Bill, okay?
Yes, he
Everybody
is
loves
Cool
him as
Uncle
Cool Uncle Bill.
Yes.
So Nia-san, do you have a best friend as a man?
Well, most of my friends are men, and of course women too. But I don't know what you would describe as a best friend. But if hanging out, okay, yes, have people I hang out with, and we converse. We hold conversation about everything under the sun, and we try to live as best as we can without punching each other in the face, but accepting each other for who they are, and taking their opinions as they express them. Because I believe that you have to tolerate people, you have to accept them as they are, and work with them and because you can't live as an island on yourself, on your own. So you have to have friends, you have to have people with whom you collaborate, with whom you talk, with whom you do things together. So I do that, and I don't. I don't have anything to fear about hanging out with somebody. All what matters to me is to see each human being as a human being and treat them as such, take them as such, and hold conversation if need be. If no need, okay, just keep it quiet and move on.
Yeah, I have another friend. He's actually a friend of my son, but now we've adopted him as family since he doesn't have any. But he is the managing executive director of an organization that he created where Black men can come together who are not so much intellectual, like degree-wise, even though quite a few of them are, but they're into the culture, they're into art, ballet, books. They like to read. So he created an organization. He said basically because he was always finding himself as the only male at the opera, he was like the speck amongst, the other races. And he began to find other Black men who were interested in orchestra and opera and reading and things like that. Now the organization spans all across the United States and in, I believe, 5 or 6 different countries where they're not having book clubs, they're not reading books like that, but they come together for cultural events. They may have sponsored some young opera singers, up and coming opera singers that are performing at the Temple Center that you may not be so well known. So they come together to have these events where. But when it comes to protecting your family, Gerber Life Insurance is with. Where we're encouraging young artists, and they're getting to see that yes, Black men do go to the opera. Yes, Black men do read books. They were meeting at a book club, and they were discussing books that were relevant. So I don't even think it's been 15 years, and it has proven that it was necessary. They may not come together and discussing their personal issues. I don't know that, but I do know they come together to, for their same love. And I won't say hobbies because hobbies are, I don't know what a hobby is, especially in the man's world. They're not coming together to talk about sports. They're coming together to talk about other things in a man's life that are not so much sports. So another thing that the Good Man Project discussed as a way to empower our Black men is to offer to stand with Black men as they engage, protest, or other direct actions against injustices. Now, I personally have not been on the picket line. I've not been at any protests. My sons prefer that I do not be in those environments. So I stay home on the sideline and pray that they come home from those events. And so what do you think? What do you think about that as a way to empower Black men, to let them know that we are with them, we stand with them, we're here to encourage that which you find necessary to do? Deborah?
I think standing by them in that manner is a good thing, to let them know that we are with them, even if we can't participate, but to be able to let them know that they have somebody who's standing with and behind them to encourage them to do what they're doing.
And then when they come home and talk about it or want to talk about it, want to unload their frustrations, be there to listen.
Yes,
to listen to what they are sharing, because what they're sharing is equally as important as you not getting your nails done or you had an argument with your girlfriend. Reverend Pam, what do you think? How are you helping to empower Black males?
Well, let's hear from Dr. Crossley, then I'll come back. We're gonna do the anthem in 30 minutes because we were because of technical difficulties we started late. Let's hear from Dr. Crossley, then I'll come back. I know you and Nia Song are on audio, so you cannot tell who's on. So Dr. Crossley, if you can talk about the things you do to empower our men, then I'll go after you.
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity to share what I do. So I created a nonprofit organization called Mr. DC. And
really?
last year was our inaugural event held at the MGM, and the winner from last year works for the President of the United States and the First Lady. And the first runner-up is a well-known attorney in our area who raised over $500,000 for the Children's Network, whereby families in DC who cannot afford childcare, his organization pays for their childcare. And he's also created laws that deal with the profession of law that he practices in, along with well-known congressmen. So the purpose of Mr. DC is to highlight and celebrate our men of culture of all races. Since George Floyd, we felt that men were being held down too long, pushed back too far. And it was our way of coming together to celebrate our men. In order for them to qualify to be in the pageant, they have to have performed 20 hours of community service. We have a dynamic board of directors that uplift and support the men throughout the year. Mayors, chairman of the boards. The community comes out and supports the event with finances, and it's a really big day for the winner. This year, the winner represents the Filipino community. He's a dynamic performer. The first runner-up is a news reporter, very popular news reporter. So it's almost a tie. The other 11 gentlemen are also dynamic. They own their own companies. They do it all, and they have a platform just like Miss America. Each gentleman brought with them a platform. All the platforms from autism to wounded veterans is represented in Mr. DC. And for example, autism, the winner last year, his platform was also autism. We learned about the autism spectrum. So we learn from all these gentlemen. We learn about the war veterans that suffer from PTSD and mental health. The guy who won this year tried to commit suicide, so his platform is mental health, and
Oh
he's
my
out in
God.
the community. He's spreading awareness. He's also the brand ambassador for We Model USA, whose awareness is on human trafficking. So these gentlemen are royal ambassadors that represent DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So I'm the proud mother of all these men that are doing dynamic things in the community, and they support each other, and it's about pride. They respect each other. They are, in order to qualify, they have to be family men. They have to be
Oh,
community leaders. Yeah, so these men already got it going on, and they support each other. And the winner, one guy who was, I think, the 5th runner-up, this is a true story. Because he volunteers in the community, Lexus, the car company, put a 2023 Lexus in his driveway with a bow on it. And it was because they were recognizing volunteers in the community, and they picked him. So I'm really
wow.
proud of what these men are doing in our community. And they share everything on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, website. Everybody is in it 100%. And the NFL is one of our sponsors. Other community leaders. So I'm really proud of my community. Thank you.
Well,
That was excellent. Well, I'm excited.
yes.
I just this week I happened to been honored to go to the Miss New Jersey senior pageant. My sister was running, so this was like my very first beauty pageant, and it was just exciting to be there. And the winner for this year was a Filipino. Even though I was not happy with the selection of judges, a Filipino came out first place. So she's got a Filipino over there, and I had one over here. So I love the concept of your organization, Mr. DC. I'm trying to Google it. I'm not doing any, you can give me that information
Dr.
later.
Preston, put the Facebook link and any other link on the chat box, please.
Right. And I am Miss Virginia Senior World. And just on Friday, the World Conference of Mayors have a resolution now where I also represent the World Conference of Mayors as my foundation base, as well as the True Miss Senior World pageant, which will be held in October in Biloxi, Mississippi. Thank you.
Yeah, that was true. I was on that call when that resolution was passed. Congratulations. And Dr. Crossley, Ambassador Lisa, I gave her your number. I don't know if you did call Ambassador Lisa or if you called a different Lisa, but
yeah, she did call. We have not had a chance to talk, but that's what I was calling her for, because I thought from her picture on her profile, I couldn't see with all her bid, but I thought she was a Miss Senior something, and that's what I was trying to find out while I was away, because I didn't know if she was in the audience or not, because they were Miss Senior Americas from all over the country that had came in for the New Jersey pageant.
Okay, I'm gonna put that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for all you do, Dr. Crossley. You're very, very helpful. You do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ambassador Lisa, I will just briefly talk about the stuff I do. I really don't, most of the stuff I do is not on the internet, but I think time will come when we're gonna put all of it there, But there's an organization where we've been praying for years that men should rise up and take up their positions, and now they're doing that. I've handed the prayer line to them, now I handed the Sunday service to them, and they are really coming around, because men are supposed to be the spiritual head. But just this show alone, it's empowered a lot of men. We do a lot of shows that go to cater to our men. So we've been doing this show for 7 years and 3 months. The enemy was trying to attack today with the both anchors having issues zooming in, so they are both on audio, but there's no way we're gonna cancel a show. No way, never. We have never done it and we will never do it. So this show is not being streamed, the last 3 shows, but I'm going to upload them on YouTube and then we'll put them on Facebook. So I would like to go back to Nia Song. Nia Song, you can unmute yourself. Dr. Crossley shared some information. I'm going to put it in the chat box for everybody to see.
What was the question?
No, there's no question. We're handing back over to you.
What?
You're an anchor.
No, there was a question I asked you, and then you sent it to Dr. I was asking you about creating a safe space where Blacks can talk about the experience, or either how we stand with Black men as they engage in protest. What were your thoughts? How have you participated or helped out? That was the initial question.
That was the initial question, which I already answered, and I can't even recall what I said. But I said I try to work with. I try to work with men as much as I can when I meet them, when we meet or when we interact. So that is all I can say about that. Empowering men is something that should come as naturally as saying good morning to your neighbor. Men should be ready and willing to rise up and to participate in making their community better than they met it.
And one thing we can do as well, on a very personal basis, very individual basis, is speak. Nobody speaks anymore. My boys are, Mom, why are you always speaking? I wave to the bus drivers. I speak to the people walking through my block. They put their head down. I'm like, hello, how are you? We've gotten in such an individual place where we don't even want to look at people anymore. I look them in the eye. I speak to them. How are you? How's your family? Have a blessed day as I'm getting off the bus or as I'm going past on my way. But when we begin to engage the community again, when we begin to talk to our neighbors, we can begin to empower them, to let them know that, yes, I do see you. Yes, you are not invisible. Something as simple as a smile and a hello, to let them know that they're not invisible.
And a home, like even what we're doing with the Brain Bio, this Africa Online, they need to have a home, a place where they can come and find people who look like them, mentors. Ambassador Lisa, we've brought a lot of people on this show that could serve as mentors for our people. Our sister organization, Africa's Brain Bank, has a division called African High School Association. And we're trying to connect all the Black high schools around the globe, not just Africa, but all high school students of descent, and match them with mentors. Those are some of the things that we are doing. But and then honoring, last year we honored His Excellency Ambassador Andrew Young, and we honored Motor's first A&R man, Brother Mickey Stevenson's. We honored Honorable Johnny Ford, the founder of the World Conference of Mayors. We honored RMD, the Nollywood iconic actor, who is also a journalist and an attorney, Richard Moffett Damijo. He's also our ambassador to Africa. So we've honored, and this year we're going to be honoring Berry Gordy and the Motown superstars, Motown legends. So there's a lot, but there's still more to be done. I think, yes, there's still more to be done. So I think at 4:15 we'll do the anthem, and then close out. I know we started late, but we're going to do the anthem at 4:15. So Ambassador Lisa, I'm going to hand over to you. Or 5:15 your turn. That's in 6 minutes. And I have the anthem ready because I know you're on your phone, so you can share it.
Right. Yes. So one of the other ways that the Good Man Project, encourages Black males to be empowered is to listen to the voices of our Black men. And we offer practical advice. Now, we women must be very careful in how we deliver that advice. Got to remember, we are not the heads. We need to find a way to deliver that practical advice in such a way that they will listen to us. God gave us as the helpmeet. Even if I'm not married, I'm still a helpmeet to my brothers. I'm still, an encourager I remember some years ago, I got a word that God called me to be a nurturer to my brothers, because most men had not been nurtured as a child. You come with corrective instructions, but not in the way of instructions, not like you're talking to your child. You instruct your child, but when they become a certain age, you turn to how you speak to them. You have to change your vocabulary. So you change how you speak to our men when we're giving this practical advice. So, Ruthie, I want to know, how do you offer practical advice to cool Uncle Bill?
I offer advice to cool Uncle Bill by remembering not to should on him.
Not to what?
Should. You should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this.
Okay.
I don't should on my husband.
Oh, okay. I don't should on my husband. I like that. Exactly. Like I said, we have to be able to offer practical advice without looking like we're talking to our children. So I don't should on him. I like that.
So I ask questions and allow him to come to a conclusion. And then sometimes I just I have to tell him this is the way it is, especially when it comes to nutrition, because I learned a lot and I want him to know the truth about what he's doing to his body. So sometimes you got to just come direct. Other times, not so much. But I also believe that we need to empower our children, our young male children, so that they become empowered men. So we're not trying to, there's a guy who says it's easier, I forgot how he said it, but it's easier to teach little children than to fix broken men.
That's true.
Than to fix or correct broken men. That's true.
Well, I think another way of saying that is a stitch in time saves 9. Because if you have a torn shirt and you stitch it, you will save yourself problems in the future. Because if you don't stitch it, the thing will keep tearing, and it will take you long. Yes, so I think that's another way. Or another way to say is prevention is better than cure. So it's better to eat like a cow than start living on medications, because you did not eat like a cow.
I'm trying to wean off of it.
Yeah.
So so with my young men, I did like Ruth said. I started very early because we were just talking about this on Memorial Day when we were just sitting around chatting. I was saying how I did not intend to be raising my men at 18 and 20. So I put in them at the very beginning. I didn't let them get away with things that most people say, oh, he hit me. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I'll deal with it later, and then, deal with his bad behavior till he's 12. And now he's standing 6 foot tall in your face. But I also put in them the love of opera, the ballet, the classical music. They're jazz musicians, they're gospel musicians, but I made sure they understood how to go to the opera or how to go to the ballet, because I wanted them to if they ran into a woman that's like their mother who likes these things, I didn't want them sitting there talking about, oh man, when we leaving, sicking and sucking and not knowing how to sit through a 4-hour ballet. I taught them when they were 7 and 8 and 9 and 12, took them to the theater so that they could be well-rounded. And this is what has been missing in this generation now. The parents of these children now are only 10, 15 years older than them. Their grandmother is only 25 years older than them, so everybody is very young and no one is getting any classic training or classical training, not getting any cultural training. They're just into their Game Boys or their Switch, whatever. I met a little boy yesterday. I was like, what are you playing? At a picnic. All he wanted to do was play with his Switch. He didn't want to play with other children. He just wanted, and I said, okay, well, just go get it. If you break it, it's it. I'm like, why don't you encourage him? We're outside. Encourage him to run and play with the other kids. He's sitting at home on this game thing all the time. So encourage him to be outside, running and jumping. our children are not getting that. So
Okay,
I agree with you that we
it's
must
time
do
to
this
play
very
the
early.
anthem. It's time to play the anthem.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yes, I'm gonna play the anthem.
Oh, Africa. Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people, with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africa Online Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey, Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does. To identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. For everyone, if we believe prosperity for Africans, if we believe medical facilitation for Africans, if we believe stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is a cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the Africa Online Miracle Jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans. Let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. Before I go over to Ambassador Lisa, I just want to remind everyone about our next week we're going to be talking about gun safety. We're going to have a special guest. He's the founder of the RAC. Dr. Crossley knows him because he's part of the World Conference of Mayors. He's designed a gun safety solution. You know that some states are adopting now. So we're going to be talking about that, and Ambassador Lisa, that is a good sequel to this show because we are actually empowering that brother. It was designed by a brother, William McMurray. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. But Ambassador Lisa, let me just finish my own announcement, and I'll send it over to you. We're going to do a different Zoom link just to make sure we don't have that issue anymore. Sister Ruth and Sister Deborah, Dr. Crossley, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so this is our website. Tickets have been open. You know, we're not going to sell tickets at the gate. We have 89 days to go, you know. So go there and buy your tickets. You know, if you want to attend all the events, it's going to cost you, if you want to register your business, you know, for the US, it will cost you $3,000, and that covers you for the entire weekend. If you just want to attend Saturday is only $250. If you want to attend Saturday and Sunday, it's $500. But if you want to attend all the events, you know, if you're not a business, you're an individual, then you can either do a sponsorship. The sponsors, they start at $5,000, or you register as an investor with $3,000. You attend the entire weekend. You know, so you go to our website, www.africasbrainbank.org, and click on the link. That's learn more or purchase tickets. Dr. Crossley, I need you to help push it. I'm going to post the link. Sister Ruth, I need you to help us push it. Sister Deborah, I need you to share the link with all your networks, push it. Dr. Crossley, we need some sponsors. We're a 501c3. Anything you can do to help us with sponsorships, that would be great. You know, we are raising funds for STEM education and STEM mentoring. So over to you. All right, thank you. Sister Ruth says she'll push it. So that's the link, please push it, you know, and share it on all your social media handles. Ambassador Lisa, over to you.
Thank you, Reverend Pam. Also, Africa Online Media Corporation also has an ongoing fundraiser. It is Operation Borehole 55. We desire to put a borehole in every country on the continent of Africa, but we can't do it without you. Our sons and our daughters, our mamas are going to the river, walking 3 and 4 miles every day to get a bucket of water, which is supposed to sustain them throughout the entire day. That same bucket of water from the river that the animals are walking and drinking in, you're washing your clothes in, is the same water they're bringing back home to do their laundry, to do their dishes, to cook with, and boil to drink. But we want them to have clean running water. We want to outfit a medical facility and extend that tap out to the community. Our first project in Sierra Leone is up and running, and 6,000 households are benefiting from the tap, from the borehole that we put in at the clinic. Would you consider, please consider, I beg and implore you to consider making a donation to www.africaonlinetv.org. That's www.africaonlinetv.org. You'll find a donate button there. when you think about us, just go there, click on it, think about dropping $5, think about dropping 10, 100. All of the money goes towards the borehole project. There are no administrative fees taken out. All of it is going toward the borehole project. And we can do this. We can put a borehole in every country on the continent of Africa and give our people in the village clean running water for the clinic, clean running water for them to be able to drink, to do their household chores, and not have to send their sons and daughters out at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning to get a bucket of water before they go to school. Thank you so much for considering and keeping Africa Online Media Corporation and Operation Borehole 55 in your sight. Nia-san, over to you.
Merci, Madame. Africa Online Media Corporation continue à vous prier, à vous solliciter de nous donner un peu de sous pour qu'on continue à construire des adductions d'eau dans les pays africains. Il y en a 55, Operation Borehole 55 continue. On a commencé au Sierra Leone, ça fonctionne, c'est fonctionnel, ça fait une population de plus de 6 000 personnes avec une population totale de 30 000 personnes dans l'environnement. Et puis, nous visons le Cameroun et le Kenya pour les prochains points d'eau. Donc, nous vous sollicitons de bien vouloir nous donner un peu de sous. Va sur notre site web, africaonline.tv.org plutôt, africaonline.org pour faire votre contribution. Et tout est bien sûr, déductible d'impôts. Nous vous prions de ne pas hésiter, s'il vous plaît, bien vouloir aider pour qu'on puisse avoir de l'eau dans les centres de santé développés dans les divers pays africains. Merci beaucoup et n'oubliez pas de le faire. Et puis, le mois de septembre prochain, Africa's Brain Bank continue aussi à organiser une fête qui sera organisée plus tôt. Elle veut organiser une fête en septembre, au mois de septembre en Californie. Donc, il faut participer aussi. Va sur notre site web, vous allez tout voir là-bas. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée. Ambassador Lisa, over to you.
Yeah, we are rounding out our show. We're talking about empowering our Black and brown brothers, some of the things that we can do to encourage them to be open with themselves, open with their feelings, to be honest with themselves about how they feel and what they think. That's one of the first areas of empowering them, is to encourage them to know that they do have feelings and that their feelings are valid. Because, like we said earlier, as children coming up, young men, they were told, suck it up. Oh, that don't hurt. You know, so they've been stuffing and stuffing and stuffing. The first thing we want to do is empower them to be honest with themselves. Acknowledge that you do have feelings, that you do have things that hurt you. And when you're hurt, there are other ways to express that without putting your fist through a wall or in your wife's face or abusing someone. So we want to encourage them to talk. I believe, I'm not sure about the time. Are we about ready to take the round of the table, Reverend Pam? I'm not really sure what's going on.
Well,
Pam had to step away for a few minutes.
I think she's muted. Oh, okay.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ambassador Lisa. I need to mute for a few minutes. What did you need?
I didn't know if we were rounding the program up now or
No,
we
yes. Sister Ruth can help because she knows the people that are on. Yeah, we can do the last word. Sister Ruth, you can just tell her who is on, and then we need a song.
Okay.
I'll go last before Nia song, please.
Okay, so you know who's on, right? Pam, Deborah, Dr. Gloria, myself, Nia Song, you, Pam. So who do you want to go first?
You determine who goes first.
Oh, I determined to go first. Oh, okay. Okay, Dr. Gloria, we'll start with you with the final round, your final words of encouragement to us.
Sure. I just like everyone's approach to helping men. Every man is going to have a different need. And I'm just happy to be part of the conversation.
Well, we are happy to have you as part of the conversation as well.
Yes, we are. And now we'll go to Deborah.
I say, as we as women have to put aside our feelings sometimes and take the time out to actually listen to what they're saying to us, rather than hear what we want to hear and speak before we can actually hear what's being said. And I think that would help them to be able to open up even more and get their feelings out.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go next.
That's
And
why
then
we have. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak.
yes,
I like that.
that's why we have
Mhm.
2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. And I believe that sometimes that silence is golden. And if you allow your man to speak, no matter how long it may take, sometimes I process things a lot faster. And I remember that my husband doesn't process the way I do. And
Mhm.
taking those few extra deep breaths through the process of him processing and learning to listen, and also watching the behavior, especially in our children. Our children speak volumes without even speaking, and becoming aware of their body language. Sometimes just the way you see them interacting with someone, you might be in the distance and you see the way they're interacting with someone, but become aware, use your eyes, use your ears. Don't share. That's my kind that's
Has everybody gone, spoken?
no, we still have Ambassador you and then Nia Song.
All right, can I just give my last word now before Ambassador Lisa?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, we as women, we really need to create a safe haven for our men, whether they are boys or young adults or adult or elderly people. They need to feel safe with us and not have to run into, because a lot of times they go into gangs or they run into the arms of other races because of the way we speak to them. They don't feel safe.
Mhm.
You know, so we must be a support system for them. We need to encourage them. We need to watch the words that come out of our mouth. Like Sister Ruth was saying, you can be giving somebody a good advice. It's not the advice, it's the way you deliver the advice. That may either make that person receive it or reject it. So we need to be careful. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." You call your husband a he-goat, you're going to end up with a philanderer, a man that is chasing everything in skirts. You call him stupid, you're going to end up with a stupid man. You call him poor, you're going to end up with a poor man. What you say is what you get. So let's be careful the words that we speak. Even if our sons don't do well in school, we need to encourage them, not say they are dumb. We need to tell them that work hard, you could do this, encourage them. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me." Because they get beaten out there by society, by the community, by the schools, by the jobs. They don't need it from their own mothers or sisters or wives. That's all I want to say.
Yes, I agree. You have what you say. And when you put negativity out there, when you plant that seed of negativity, what you're going to get back is a bushel, a tree full of negativity. So we need to plant good seeds. We need to put word of affirmation in our young men. I remember when my middle son was preteen, and I was telling the pediatrician that I can't take it anymore. This boy just talk. I asked him one question. He has to go back to when he woke up this morning, what happened leading up to. I'm like, well, you just answer the question. She says, no. He might be a lawyer. Listen to him. Let him talk and express himself. Hearing that advice from another woman helped me to hear my own self. And as a result, he's a bishop preaching everywhere because I allowed him to talk. I didn't squinch it. I didn't make him shut up and be quiet and just answer the question. Now he's an awesome orator, awesome seminary teacher and speaker because I heard the advice from another sister on how to raise this man-child. And that's what we need to do. We need to come together as women, wives, sisters, help each other to keep our men encouraged. We don't always have all the information. We don't have all the answers, but another sister who's already been where you're trying to go may have, because she's got some experience in what she's talking about. I like what Prophetess Ruth said about she don't should her husband, and we should not also you our husbands, our brothers. And I said, you need to do, and you should have done, instead of saying, I feel this way, and this is what I'm thinking, because they think differently and they react differently. So I think the most important thing that we can do, as my last word, is to watch our words, watch how we speak. Speak positive, we will get positive. Plant positive, we will reap positive. Thank you so much. That is my last word on the subject. Nia-san.
Thank you very much. You all took my words, and all I have to say is, fellow men, please listen to your wives, but listen to yourself most. Make sure that what you want to say makes sense, makes meaning, is something you really intended to say. Don't say something today and tomorrow say, had I known. Tomorrow turn around and say, had I known. Say what you mean and mean what you say. As you heard the ladies say, we have only one mouth, we have 2 ears. So hear as much as you will speak. Speak little and speak sense. Thank you very much, and be your man.
Awesome.
Over to you.
Thank you so much, Nia-san. And that brings us to the end of this broadcast of Africa Online. Today, we focused on empowering the male, the Black male. We hope that we have been a blessing and an encouragement to you in spite of our many challenges technologically wise. We hope that the message that has gone forth has been exactly what you needed to hear.
Yes,
Thank
I'm going to
you very
upload
much,
it on
and,
YouTube, and we'll share it with everybody. Sorry, Nia-san.
Okay, we'll see next Sunday. Hopefully things will be better than, of course, they will always be better than they were today. So we are always positive, and we live positive lives, and we look up to you. We look up to seeing you next Sunday. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye for now.